Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this awesome and beautiful day. This is a day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. It's so exciting. It's always exciting when I have to do a video and share little knowledge in a way that would be profound to you and would actually help you to leverage on it and build leverage on it and so on. The goal, the idea of having teachings and lectures and courses from people who have gone ahead of you is so that you don't have to make all the mistakes they may go through, all the struggles they've gone through, and try to learn things by yourself because it may take a long while. So you just take what they have already spent time to acquire, and that becomes your own, first step, and you can't even begin to imagine how far you can go with that. So once again, I'm Esther Zoe Okore. I'm the convener of Hanga with Zoe. Oh, sorry, I'm the convener of Hanga with Zoe, and I am hosting this activity Inner Circle, which is the reason we are doing this video in the first place. So today we are going to talk about something I believe is the cherry on top the cake, like the cherry, the beautification of everything we've been talking about in the area of goal setting. And that is, it's not just a cherry on the cake, because it is it's not just a cherry on the ice cream, sorry, because it's just decorative, but because it is integral. In fact, it's very integral to the success of the execution of your goals. Okay, and so it is important that we talk about it. And without further ado, I would share my screen right about right about now. Yep, so you should see me. I said it. And here I am. Ta-da! Yeah, today we'll talk about execution, strategy. How do we execute? It's one thing to have these beautiful ideas and these awesome aspirations. It's one thing to fashion them and shape them in such a way that they are workable goals. It is an entirely different thing to create, an execution strategy around them, to create plans on how to achieve them. Because what's the essence of a goal if it's not achieved? What's the essence of, fashioning out a beautifully stated, very smart goal if it's not further broken down into achievable steps or points? Okay, so that is what we'll talk about this in this video. It's going to be fairly short, and the video is specifically looking at strategizing, how to form your strategies, how to form your plans on the goals that you have set out to do. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the essence of strategy. Why is it necessary? What's the point in all this? Now, so we don't get ourselves confused, let me do something that looks like a definition of terms, but it's not exactly definition of terms. So you start with aspirations. This is something you admire, something you want to be, you wish to be, you wish to have, you wish to become, you want to obtain, and all that. That's just the aspiration. And then you break it down into goals. Goals are more like statements that they're like the focus. Okay, they're like the focus per time. Because if you have a great aspiration, you want to be maybe American Next Top Model, or you want to be anything, there's a place you have to start from. Okay, you want to own a large NGO that is concerned with meeting the needs of the deaf and the dumb, handicapped children. That is a big, mighty aspiration, but you need to start somewhere. So your ability to break down that aspiration in such a way that you can construct a sentence an actionable sentence, okay, or statement per season or per time or per, per season. That is the process of creating a goal. All right. And then after creating the goal, it's important that you further break it down into strategies or plans, or how you intend to execute, how you intend to make this work. So if you don't know how you want to make it work, you can have a beautifully stated goal that motivates you, and the moment you remember it, you're up and you just want to get going, but then you don't know what to get going to, you don't know what to actually do, and that ruins the whole essence of the strategizing of setting the goal in the first place. And so strategy is more like how we intend to, carry out that goal and make sure that is executed. So to start with is the essence. Why do you create a strategy, number one? And what do you look at? What should a strategy be like? Okay, what should a strategy look like? What should the strategy or the plans you are setting, what form should they take? Okay, and these are the four key forms and essence of strategies I have come to discover and which I'm sharing. So the first thing is that your strategy, now mind you, your strategy may not fulfill all 4 points, but it should fulfill at least one of the points. So if you set a strategy that does not apply to anything here, then you've not set a strategy. Now, this is not talking of goals. If you want to know more about goals and how to make sure I'm talking of when you've set an outstanding, okay, actionable goal statements, when you've made your goals clear. You know that what you want to do is by the end of the first quarter, you want to have read maybe 5 books on um, marketing. It's a clearly stated goal. You want to learn how to market. You want to have read 5 books on marketing by the end of the first quarter. That is a clear goal. So I'm not saying when you come on and you're like, I want to excuse me, I want to grow my business. I want to grow my business is not a goal. What is the meaning of grow your business? How are you growing your business? Are you trying to grow your online presence? Are you trying to grow a physical store? Do you want to open another branch? Do you want to employ more people? Do you want to diversify your goods or your services? What do you mean by grow your business? So you need to make that clear. And once you've made it clear, you have set a goal. So this video is going to be especially beneficial when you have set a goal that is clear, that is actionable. Okay, so now you want to break down these goals into strategies or systems on how you into strategies on how to execute. Okay, and the first thing I said is the strategy could be or should be one of the characteristics or qualities a strategy should have is the ability to help you build a habit, because we know that our activities, our day-to-day unconscious activities are simply the product of habits we have built over time. And so in the course of growing, okay, when you set goals, you are intending to grow, become a better, you get, step up from the level you are at to a higher level. So the idea is to build a habit. You want to start by building a habit, because it is who you are presently. The future you cannot dwell in this current container. This current container and content level has to expand. So that's why we always talk about growth. So you're setting goals towards the growth. And one of the most credible ways to grow is to build healthy habits. to build healthy habits. So when you've outlined your goals, you're planning out strategies, one thing you want to consider is, this is one of the things, so like I said, all your goals or a singular goal may not have all these qualities, but it should have at least one of it. So you want to check that your strategies are geared towards building a habit. Okay, so that's one of it. It should be positioning to build a habit. So going through the goals of some of us have already outlined one or two strategies. So I'm just going to use the example. Okay, and then for many of us in spiritual goals, we talked about how we want to read a scripture every day, okay, or how we want to do a spiritual activity at certain times of the week. Now, that is a habit forming strategy. So you're not just the intention of saying, okay, I'm going to read one chapter of the Bible every day, is because you want to build it as a habit. This should be the reason you want to build the habit of, reading one chapter every day. You want to, it's going to help you form a habit, because if the goal is just to finish the New Testament and then you are done with the New Testament, where else are we going to? The goal is to be consistently beholding the word. And so you want to set a strategy that helps you to consistently behold the word and learn and build and be better. And so you decided that the way you want to do it is to read one chapter a day. So I don't know if you're getting the point. Your strategy should, one of the things your strategy may be doing is it may be helping you to build a habit. And when it is designed in such a way as to build a habit, you know that the goal is consistency. It would make no sense that you said you want to read a chapter every day. On Monday you read one chapter, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you didn't read anything, then Friday you now read 4 chapters. You are not building the habits. So that strategy is being defeated. Okay, I hope I'm making sense and I'm clear. The next thing your goal may be doing is that it may be helping you to create a system. Maybe helping you to create a system. So still using the examples. So someone says in their financial goal, if I'm not mistaken, that they would want to begin to save 20% of their income. 20% of their income, they want to begin to save that. Now, that is it's not a goal on its own, because the goal may be something like to build financial capacity, or to learn the culture of saving, okay? Maybe to learn the culture of saving, or to learn the culture of managing finances, whatever the aspiration and the goal could be, that's fine. But then when you're building a strategy and then you say, save 20% of my income, monthly or whenever they come. Now you are creating that particular goal is being designed as a way of creating a system of saving. And so you don't just stop there. You go further to say, okay, how do I make this work? And one person, I'm not advertising, but then one person opted to use piggy vests. So all she would have to do is to configure her piggy vest, link her bank her bank details to it, so that probably when any money comes, 20% of it is withdrawn to a different account. Okay, so you may want to automate, you may want to do it manually. Okay, manually can be tricky, so it's always best if you can automate. But I don't know if you get the idea here. So you're trying to create a system. You're trying to create a system. And that is one thing your strategy should be doing for you, okay? If it's not helping to build a habit, and one thing you would know about activities or strategies that help to build a habit is that they are quite frequent. So if it's not every day, it is 3 times a day, 3 times a week, a couple times a day, depending on what it is. So the frequency is much compared to this one of saving, which is just probably once a month or So with habit building, the frequencies are more like every day. And that's why it's important to know exactly what you are doing. Don't just say, I'm going to read this book within this month. I'm going to read one chapter every. Understand that the essence is that you want to cultivate a habit of interacting with knowledge and information daily. Okay. And then your strategy could also channel you towards building a system. We'll talk more about this in the next slide or the next two slides. So I don't want to go a lot into creating systems. So another thing your goal may be doing for you is to fix or outline an action. And so you might have something like go to the retrieve material from the tailor. It's not a recurrent thing. It's not helping you create any system. It's just a one-off thing. So your strategies should, either fix an action or outline an action. Okay, do this, do that. Okay, so you want to be fit. Okay, you want to lose 20 pounds in the next 3 months, right? And so you say, okay, outside the okay, if that is the goal, you can see that by the time you start saying things like do jumping jacks 10 jumping jacks every day, or exercise for 15 minutes every day, or 45 minutes 3 times a week, and on and on and on, you're creating a habit. That strategy is helping you create a habit. Okay, when you say something like quit taking carbonated drinks, it's more like an action you fixed. So you fix that action, you are stopping it, you're putting a stop to it. So it's more like calling you out to do something, maybe a one-off thing, but the thing is, it's not as frequent, it's not recurrent. Everything your strategy should do should be action, should be like action directed. We'll look more into it later, but it should be something that puts you on the move. Nonetheless, the difference is that if you have a strategy that helps to build a habit, it's more frequent, more reoccurring than the ones that help you create a system. And those ones are even more reoccurring than the ones that help you that are just, more like action words, action, just one-offs, just those one-offs. Okay, like buy a book. Buy a book. You may not want to be buying a book every month, but there's a book you want to read, so buy a book. And it's just a strategy that tells you what to do, and it's a one-off. All right. Then the last essence is it should either help you delegate or outsource. Okay, if you remember what we talked about, I think that was SMART goals. Yes, that was SMART goals. When we said A is for assignable. So who is going to be in charge? Who is going to be held responsible for who or what is going to be held responsible for this? So your strategy should point, should be able to tell you who you are delegating to, if you are delegating or if you are outsourcing. Remember, I did not say that one strategy would have all 4 essences, okay? Or essence. I don't know if essence is supposed to have a plural, but I did not say one goal, one strategy would have all these essence. All I said is that by the time you finish crafting your goals and pointing out your supposed strategies, and you take a look at them, those strategies should either be helping you build a habit, create a system, fix an action, or delegate and outsource. So if the strategies are not doing these 4 things, you need to look at it very well, because you probably have not done a thorough job in mapping it out. Okay, so we are going to move into how to strategize. Now, this is the system building I'm talking about. This is the system building. It is totally important. And the first thing is find the what. Okay, so which in essence means make sure there is a goal. Make sure there is a goal. I saw someone's work, and it was all strategy and no goal. Just, okay, I'm going to do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. So the question is, what exactly are you doing? what is spurring all these other activities you have insisted that you want to do? Okay, what is the focus before we can understand the dispersion of energy and of material and resources? What is the focus? What are you looking towards getting? Don't just say, I would exercise 3 times a day, I will do this. If you do that way, then you're only setting activities for yourself. You're only creating a list of to-dos, but there is no goal. And so those things may not be achievable. You may get out at the time. You may run it for a week and then that's it. Because there's no solid goal to it. But when the goal is, okay, I want to keep fit in such a way that I can run, I want to keep fit. I want to maintain a healthy, cardiorespiratory efficiency. Okay. I don't want, if I run for 3 minutes, I'll start panting like a dog. Okay. I don't want if I just somehow stretch my hand too much, I'll feel a lot of cramp and a lot of tension and pain. So I want to learn flexibility. I want to inculcate flexibility exercises into my exercise routine. When you have those goals, then it will make sense that you are waking up by 5 a.m. Like, why would you wake up by 5 a.m. just to start running up and down? What are you doing? Who is pursuing you? Who is pursuing you? So it's important that you find out what exactly you're doing. That's the first and the primary. Then why should it be? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? And this is the essence we talked about will help here. So why am I doing this? Am I running around as a one-off thing that I'm just going to do this month, which is not bad, mind you, it's not bad. Or am I running around because I want to make a habit of it? Okay, it's important. Am I trying to lose weight because I want to fit into this clothes I want to wear on this wedding? Which is, there's nothing wrong in if that's a goal. You may not want to shed a lot of weight, but maybe for a period of time, you just want to lose a little more weight so you can fit into this perfect dress and look pretty. So it could be one of, nobody said it must all be consistent, and your strategies may not even all be consistent all the time. For example, if I have a strategy, if I have a goal to lose weight, okay, or to keep fit, sorry, not to lose it, to keep fit. I have a goal to keep fit. Now, keep fit is not it's not an actionable goal, mind you, but let's just use it. So I have a goal to keep fit. And then I decide that there are times of my life where I might do very strenuous or lengthy exercises. The other times where I may just, maybe initially I weighed a certain, maybe I weighed 70 kg and I feel like, man, I feel so dull in this weight I'm carrying. So let's bring it down to 65, right? And then the strategies I will put in place to bring it down to 65 is definitely not going to be the same strategies I'll put in place to maintain 65 kg. Do we get? So the strategies are not always the same. And that's why it's important to know why you want to do it. Am I trying to lose weight? Am I trying to maintain what I have? Am I trying to read more books, or do I want to reread the ones I already had? Am I trying to just cover the Bible from back to back? Or are there specific things I want to pick out from the scriptures as I read? It's important. It's very important. There are times when the other time I read through the book of Matthew, and the emphasis, the only thing I was looking for reading through the book of Matthew was all the things Jesus taught. The things, what did Jesus teach? But you could read through the book of Matthew with the intention to pick out the miracles he did. Do you see how the why defines the strategy? So it's not just by saying read my Bible every day, run around every day, drink 10 cups of water every day. It's not just like that. Why are you doing it? It's important in the strategy formation and also in the system you create. How should it be? How do you do it? Okay, how do you do it? I'm going to mix the how should it be, how can it be, where will it be, and when will it be. I'm going to lump it all together and explain because they are all sort of intertwined. And I wouldn't want to spend a lot of time talking about them individually. So this for when will it be, where will it be, how can it be, how should it be, would all help you form a solid structure, a solid system. Okay, so you want to lose weight. Permit me to just keep using the the intention of losing weight. Okay, so you want to lose weight, you want to lose 10 kg in the next 2 months. You know you want to lose it because you feel heavy on in your body, and you just feel you could shed a little more fat, and you'd rather be, you'd rather be 65 kg than 75 kg, and you feel more self-confident. That is why you want to do it. Now it's important to not just stop there, to go further and say, how should it be? How should you do it? Are you going to enroll, get a gym membership and follow through? Are you going to get a private gym instructor? Are you going to wake up every day and have an accountability partner that you guys do it together with? Are you going to do it alone and set solid structures that would make sure that you sustain it? Set alarms, maybe set a time, what do I call it now? A grading sheet. So any day you do it, you tick. Any day you don't, you cross. Something like that. Okay. How will you do it? How would you achieve it? Okay, you want to visit, you want to visit 4 orphanage homes and do whatever you want to do. Okay, how do you want to do it? Are there strategic locations of orphanage homes you want to meet? Are there strategic orphanage homes rather in certain locations? Maybe you want to cross north, east, west, and south, and so you just pick 4 orphanage homes there. Are there certain things you are looking at? Maybe an orphanage home that has a dilapidated building, or an orphanage home that doesn't have a lot of staff. I would go and then volunteer for a week. How will it be done? Very important. How should it be? Sorry, how should it be? Okay, how should it be is how the ideal way, this is how it should be. And when it comes to how can it be, it's talking about you now taking a look at your environment and the circumstances and what you have in your palm, in your hand, and deciding, okay, this is how it should be, or based on what I have, based on the parameters fitting me, this is how it can be. All right, so if I have a book I want to read in a month, okay, and the book has 500 pages. Ideally, typically, and I want to finish it in a month, okay, let me use 300 pages so it's easier to divide. I want to finish it in a month. What does that mean? 30 days over 300. So every day I should read 10 pages. That is one way of doing it. Or if the book has 10 chapters, I can say, okay, 1 chapter 3 days, or 1 chapter 2 days, depending on what I really want to do. That's how it should be. But how can it be is now about you sitting down to say, okay, what's my itinerary like? What do I have running, for me? Do I have children to cater for? Do I have a husband to tend? Do I have chores to do? Do I have sole control of my time? Do I have a job I have to go to that takes so much time, and so I can't even find so much space for my own self to even sit and read 10 chapters in 10 pages in a day, or so by the time you've scrutinized your own environment and what you have going on for you, you can say, all right, so this is what we'll do. I'm going to read one based on all that I have going on for me. The way this can work is that I'm going to be reading it 10 pages a day. I'll read 5 pages in the morning and 5 in the evening. Or during our break time, 1 hour break and lunch time at work, I'm going to read 5 pages. Okay, so it's more like you narrowing it down to what you have around you going on. Then where will it be? It's very, very important, very important. Where is it going to happen? where are you going? This where will it be? Often always works with habit forming strategies, because when you want to build a habit, you want to build it around certain things that are fairly constant, so that the moment you interact with those constants, you'll be reminded of, the goal. Okay, so if I make the habit that whenever maybe we have a water dispenser in the sitting room, we actually do here. So you have a water dispenser in the sitting room, and I make a habit of, the moment I come into the sitting room, I fetch a cup and I drink. And I think I should even incorporate this into one of my jobs, because I totally have a very poor water consuming habit. It's horrible. So I think this could even be a strategy for me. So I decide that the moment I step into the sitting room, I walk to the water dispensary, and then I fetch a cup of water and I drink. So, and I know that I'm going to enter the sitting room at least 4 or 5 times in a day. So I'm going to drink at least 4 or 5 cups of water in a day, which by far beats what I usually consume in a day. Okay. So when you put the when and the where into the mix, especially for habit forming goals, you reinforce that habit, and you link it to certain structures that are consistent. And that's why certain people say, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to pray. So with every waking up in the morning, they pray. Come rain, come shine. Now you want to put the where in the mix. You can say, I wake up in the morning, I get up from my bed and I come to the floor. Now, by doing that, every morning you wake up and you want to study or you want to pray, you know that you can't be on your bed, come to the floor. By the time you do that over, you'll be able to associate the floor with your prayer time. Or you have a chair, you associate the chair with studying or with your prayer. So whenever you wake up, you stretch enough, you take your stuff and go to the chair. It's just about, it's like I said, it works mostly with habit forming strategies. Okay, so go through your goals again, go through your strategies for those who have already listed some strategies. If you've not list, now you can create strategies and see how they work. Mind you, you may not have to pen all these things down. You may not say, why am I doing this? So do this. How can I do this? To do this. No. You may not do that because it becomes cumbersome. But having it in your mind, you have the goal listed out. It's clear to you. Your strategies are inspired by the what, the why, the how it can be, how it should be, the where and the when. So when looking at the strategies, you already know what you are gunning for. You're not just looking at skipping 10 minutes every day. When the moment you see skipping 10 minutes every day, you know that, okay, because I'm trying to do this, because I'm trying to do that, and that becomes the focus. Okay, so I think I've done a proper job here, but if there are still any questions, you can ask maybe in the comment section or when we meet in the class, depending on if you're in the productivity in a circle at the time of this recording. Okay, so let's move to qualities of a good strategy. How do you know that this strategy is good? You formed it with the previous things we talked about on how to strategize, and now we want to know how do we know that this is a good strategy? Okay, more like to just reiterate most of what I've said, it should be subject to a goal. Don't just up and set strategies, up and make plans that are, it will be like shooting bullets randomly. There's no focus, there's no target, so you don't even know why or where you are directing energy to. It should be subject to a goal. It should be in command form. Do this, wake up by this time. It should not be, I hope that Nkechi will give me my clothes on Sunday. That's where you go. That's my strategy. Strategy is go to Nkechi's shop and get my clothes. Okay, so keep it in command form. Okay, then this is my plan, my best. Intertwine it with others. It's a strategy. It's a system I've seen works. It worked for me. It works for me, so I know it works. Okay, and it's simply done by making sure that, because the truth is this, we encourage people to set goals not on one area, not just on your health or on your spirituality or on your academics, to set it in an all-round form of everything that, every area of your life that's should be working, because you want a holistic growth, right? So when you set, let's assume you have 8 areas and you set 8 goals, and you further, or in each of those areas you have two goals. Let's just keep it at the minimum. Okay, one goals. Let's keep it at the minimum. One goals. So you have 8 goals, and in each of those 8 goals, you might have 2 strategies. So you have 16 things working for you. Remember, I'm keeping it at the minimum. Excuse me. 16 things that are working for you. And you can't begin to plan all of those in the 24 hours of a day. Okay, they will not always fit. There will not always be space for it. You don't always be space to maybe 8 o'clock to 8:30. I'm doing this 8, and then you fix in all 16 of them. It will not always be feasible. So what you want to do, plus remember that you've not even incorporated other little distractions, your phone distraction. If you're working, they could give you an assignment that is outside the scope of what you're ideally supposed to do. You have chores to do at home. You have friends to cater for. Anyways, friends will be in your goals. Okay, there'll be some things you want to do for friends in your goals. So at the end of the day, you can't just put all of them, or probably, so in those 16 you might have 2-3 areas where you want to read books, I want to take courses, I want to watch videos. Okay, and come on, you can't possibly outline all these things in 24 hours. So what you want to do is to overlap some of them, and it all goes back to that system of creating a structure that works, a strategy that works. Okay, the when, the where, and all. So you would see that. Let me give an instance of how this intertwining does. So I'm going to use myself as an instance. This is something I did that's worked. So a point came in my life where I wanted to listen to more podcasts, because mostly my source of news feed, okay, not news feed, my source of learning is mostly always through reading books. And I felt, why not incorporate a podcast? I've tried audio books, they don't work for me. So, but I felt there are other learning platforms that it's not just books. So I want to develop the habit of listening to a podcast, because one of these days I'm probably going to start mine. So why don't you just start listening to some, learning while learning what they have to say and learning how they are doing their podcasting. Okay, so I said I want to start listening to a podcast. I also want to start exercising every day. Okay, I want to start exercising every day, and I want to go to work early. So these were 3 things I mapped out, and I said I'm going to work on these things. Now, I may not, so this is what I did. I got an accountability partner, and this person was someone who was also going to, not just checking if I did it, but also doing it. So I would practically call, or the person would call at a certain time, which was usually between 4:30 to 5:30. Yeah, it was crazy. Between 4:30 to 5:30, to wake the other person up. Person wakes up, me, I'm in my own place, the person is in the person's place, and then doing the 30 minutes to 1 hour, whatever number of, whatever duration we have planned to do the exercises. So what I'm doing, my exercise goals are definitely not the person's exercise goals. So the person is doing whatever he's doing based on his own exercise goals, and I'm doing what I'm doing based on my own exercise goals. So, but by the time anybody is through, person comes back and says, okay, I'm done. That one has gone. Do you see what? So when that one finishes, what I now did was, what I did was, so I put it in such a way that once I'm done exercising, the moment, of course, if I woke up by 5 o'clock to exercise for 30 minutes, I'm coming into my house by 5:30, 5:40, right? The moment I come into my house, I head straight to the bedroom. No going to the bed to stretch. No going to the bed to stretch. I come out from exercising, I head straight to the bedroom. Now, while taking my bath, I am listening to a podcast. Okay, of course, like it was such that I had to keep the phone in a place where it's loud enough to hear, but water does not interfere with it. So, do you see how I'm incorporating my typical routine that are already static, and I'm using the things I want to make a habit of and incorporating them into the static ones, so that for any time I have to do those static ones, I would automatically be inspired to do those ones that are new, like they listen to the podcast and doing the exercise. So waking up is just automatically go and exercise. At a point I had to, I think I started sleeping with my, okay, no, did I sleep with it? Okay, why did I started sleeping with my socks? Because once I wake up, I just want to slip my leg into my canvas and head out. Okay, so slip my leg into my canvas and then I head out. All and all, just to put it, make me aware, because I really don't sleep with socks. Even if it's cold, come on, I have a blanket. Why am I using socks? So, but when I wake up and I feel that warmth on my leg, I know that the next thing is, where is my canvas? And the next thing is, I'm heading outside. Okay, so you see how you just designed that system, and nearly effortlessly, you're able to create a structure around your strategy. So intertwine it, let them blend. Let them blend. When you are working, you may be going to work and you notice that, I give this instance all the time. Okay, you want to do more exercises, more physical activities. Maybe you just sit at home, then you go to work and you sit at work, and you come back home and you sit at home, and you feel, okay, this is not healthy, so I want to walk. Okay, and whether you have a public transport or you have your personal vehicle, you notice that, okay, I could park in such and such place, then you trek the rest of the distance so I can get myself moving. Okay, now while I'm achieving that goal in the area of fitness, I could also use that time to listen to a podcast in the area of self-development, or listen to a message in the area of spirituality. Okay, on and on and on. Or I could use that time to call the 2, 3 friends I want to call. I told myself I was going to call this week, or check up on whatever. Okay, as long as I'm not going to, crash and step in the way of a moving vehicle and anything like that. So learn to intertwine it. That's when it becomes more solid. But if you're waiting for, or like there's one, this one is, I'm sure most people are aware of it, often do it, when you're doing laundry. When you're doing laundry, you use that time also to maybe listen to a message, listen to something, a podcast, or on and on. All right, so intertwine them with others. Then it should not be ambiguous. Definitely should not be ambiguous. You should not look at the strategy and be wondering, sorry, what's this talking about? It should be clear. Like I said, it should be a command. Do this. Not, I hope that Nkechi will bring the money. If not, I'm going to be sad. Or I'm expecting Nkechi. You don't expect Nkechi. What are you going to do? I'm expecting Nkechi to give me the money. If she doesn't give me the money, and I'll ask Uncle Uche to give me the money. You've not said anything. Okay, you've not said anything. Definitely, you should be smart. If your goals are smart, your strategies too should be smart. They should be time bound. They should be realistic. They should be measurable. Should be attainable. Should be simple. And you want to take it smarter, should be exciting too, and of course, rewarding. So this is where we draw the curtain. It has been a pleasure. And I've spoken for quite a while. Okay, so this must probably have been the most exciting recording for me, from my own end so far. I'm super excited to have done this with you, and hope you learned something. I would really love to hear feedbacks. Okay, if you're not in the inner circle, if you're in the inner circle, you know that you have to, there's a response form, so I'll get my feedback. But if you're not in the inner circle, I would really love to hear feedback from you. So thank you very much, and get to see you some other time.